I'm just really excited that I finally get to open it. There's gotta be some kind of ritual I can make. Okay. Whatever happens, whatever I say in here, however I was feeling when I was, how old am I now? 21. I believe in my ability to overcome, and I am grateful that younger Sues made this for older Sues to have fun in the future. We got this, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. It feels weird, guys, that like I have had this forever, so it feels like I'm doing something forbidden right now. Okay. Can someone else open it? No. Okay, I can do it. I can do it. Okay. Oh my gosh! Oh. Okay. Oh, I'm excited about this. I've actually been looking for this, so you guys look. It's Hedwig. Hedwig. No, you're not climbing up on the table, sweetie. You can smell it. It's not a toy, though. Oh my gosh. I've been looking for her. I've got to have a moment of reunited. Reunited, and it feels so good. Sashki, this is me and this is you. This is you to me. Yeah, no, you don't know. Just lay down. Thank you, sweetie. Beepity boppity boo. Oh my gosh, you guys. I really have been looking for this forever. It's so funny. I love that it was the first thing. What else I have in here? This I know. This was an art project that I made in college, and it took forever. I had to make 3 or 4 sculptures out of a material that we use daily. So I chose Q-tips. I sat and cut so many millions of these with my best friend at the time, who then ended up being my boyfriend for like 4 years all throughout college. When we were just friends, we sat down, we listened to like 50 million albums of System of a Down and just cut Q-tips. Thousands of Q-tips. And then I glued them together in different ways, and this is one of the ways that I did that. Just exploring materials, that was the whole project. Oh my gosh. This is my kitty Juno. She just passed away a couple months ago. Remember Juno, hon? No! Not everything is for you to eat. But yeah, this was Juno. And then on top of that, I have this in here. Oh, it's SAI. So I was in, it's technically a fraternity during college, SAI, Sigma Alpha Iota. And it is the women's musical fraternity. It is not a sorority. There is a difference.
Apparently, sorority means that it was made by man for women. We were a fraternity because we were made by women for women. That's the difference. So like, you'll hear fraternity and think it's just men for men, but that just means that men created the club for men. So like the same gender. It's really why. But anyway.
So I have a pussycat here that's painted. I'm pretty sure my big made me this at the time. So I've got a picture of Juno here, and then the first thing I saw, it said end, and then this little statue of my cat. So part of me is like, my gosh, my cat is dead. She was alive then. Okay, so this says my name on it. It says beginning 1 and then end 111. Today is my 111th birthday, or 100, I forget what he said. Bilbo Baggins. Aww. Oh shoot! That got violent! I don't know how I'm gonna show this. Let's see if you can see this. Last time. I have always had a bit of a twisted personality. It's just an illustration or flip book of a little flower who grew and grew out of its seed, and it had a giant smile on its face, and it has a bee that lands on it, and then a person starts to walk into the frame and the bee is like, oh shit, and it runs off or flies off, and then this person starts to bend down and pick the flower. And the flower's like, what's this shit? And then it starts to bite the person. And is super happy, and the person's arm is now a bone bleeding. All over over the place. And the flower is happy again. And it just ends with like a trail of blood. And the happy flower. I'm pretty sure this is my favorite thing ever. Thank you, younger Susie, for leaving this for me. Oh my gosh. I know that I made that in beginning animation class, for sure. Okay, so then I have this. I do remember this guy. This is not gonna last long in this house. Sasha is going to eat this. Let's see if I can do this. Alright. Look at that, one breath. Not lightheaded at all. Not gonna spasm at all. I did. I lied. There were so many lies there. Ah! It's okay. Ugh. Okay. Don't give me that look. You've seen this happen before. Oh, it's my whole body. Too much breath stuff, it triggers the spasms. I haven't figured out why or anything, but that's what that was, guys. Oh, this is it's a fish pin. I used to wear this with a vintage green skirt that had fishies at each button, so there were 3 fishies, and the button made up the eye of the fish. When I would wear this with that skirt, I felt like a kindergarten teacher. I would probably make a really good kindergarten teacher. But this is a fun little pin. Oh, there's, oh yeah, that's right, there is. As if you can't tell that I like Harry Potter enough. All the things. All the small things. These appear to be rocks. Oh, I know what these are. Okay, so my boyfriend in college was a geology major. And for a gift for him, I bought a rock tumbler for him. For him. I stress that. But also for me. It was very loud. We would set it up in another room and let it tumble and tumble. This was when we were living together. So like, okay, yeah, I guess we did have it. We lived in a couple apartments, so I'm trying to like place. I don't know what year we're in yet. I kind of know. These are rocks that were tumbled. Yeah, I'm gonna spasm. Alright, and then I have... This is gonna seem really ridiculous, but back in college I used to do a lot of urban exploring. So we would go to abandoned everything. There was like a works place where they made weaponry for World War II, and there were over 60 plus abandoned buildings on this site, and I've gone there a few times. This specifically, I'm pretty sure, is from the St. Nicholas Breaker, which is down near Centralia, Pennsylvania. Centralia is pretty famous, and it's near where I grew up. Centralia is famous for having an underground fire that burned out basically everyone in the town, and only about 7 households were left standing there. They were stubborn, they didn't want to leave. But there was a road that completely opened up with smoke and stuff coming out of it. It's not the best thing to go to and breathe in, and yet I've been there a few times. Susie, why do you have all these medical problems? Oh, pretty sure this was from St. Nicholas Breaker. And we used to just take like little things to remind us of the places we had been. And I had a lot more stuff, but because it was icky and gross and covered in dirt and who knows what else, I didn't really keep a lot of that anymore, but this guy made it through. Yeah. So then, what else is in here? Oh, okay. Yeah, I have this already, but apparently I wanted to throw it in here. This was made in 2009, and it is a poetry book, and it's called Spring Melt. And she reached out to me on DeviantArt, because I have an account there. I use it still, but I was really big in using it like years ago. And she reached out to ask if she could use this photo for the cover of her poetry book. And I was like, sure, I love that. So I'm excited because this is the first time I was really published. On the inside it says cover image droplet, end of winter, copyright 2009 by Susie Hosterman, used by permission. So this was pretty exciting. I was pretty excited about this. Let's read a random one, ready? The pomegranate. Ow, I just hurt myself. I'm so sorry. My eyes shifted to the next poem and it's called A Second Note to My Cervix. And I'm honestly not trying to disrespect poetry at all. I love poetry. It's just, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Oh, damn. Yeah, it gets serious. Okay. Yeah, let's do this one. I've never actually read these. Is that kind of sad? This one is called Spring Melt. So this is what this is based off of. They separate in March, the first of our friends. To decide on divorce, we tiptoe around the month. We've been fighting, too. Our house is an overstretched shirt. The month is dark with rain. The streets all slick like sadness. We wait. Rarely patient for a thaw, for our hands to unknot, into hands again. But our friends are an ice flow, breaking apart in spring's thick current. We pool. The muck of winter from the gutters, hope. The water will run clean again, nothing more than this. We hold unto each other like upturned boats. Even if cold can never really go away, even if, we might always feel the frost at the edges of our bodies. One second. Okay, so the line in this poem, the water will run clean again, nothing more than this. Just like that first one. I had written a poem, 2 poems. I've got 2 of them right here actually, a year and a half ago. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna read my own poem. I know that we're shifting gears here, but stick with me because I really liked this one. So I wrote this after a breakup, basically. Like a big one. So this is called Phoenix, which is a little cliche, but that's okay. Clear water running clean, less likely to create a scene. An illusion in the head, stop dead, stop dead. Clean reboot in the air, using the moment to repair. Cast aside doubt and despair, feeling new, feeling new. Soft ground to lay abed, listening to the soothe, it said. Gather courage, skin you shed, and grow, and grow. Warm passion, embers bright. Focus in and set your sights, aiming higher than thought was right. Let it in, let it in. Chills. And then this is freaking crazy cool, this second one that I wrote, because my handwriting, this is creepy, but my handwriting changes at the end. So it's that whole line of like clear water running, like the water will run clear again. This whole idea has been coming up for me of like gutters and pipes and stuff, and just like letting old energy out and new energy in. Clear water running, release the morning, up ahead the sea. Open fire, aimed it higher, toward lovely company. You aren't scared, you are prepared, go ahead and see. Clear water running, passion budding. Wait and see, wait and see. And my handwriting changed throughout it. Like in the beginning, it's definitely my handwriting. And then all of a sudden, it got to, you aren't scared. And it became more like calligraphy with the you, like specifically. Like you aren't scared, and scared is capitalized. You are prepared, go ahead and see. Clear water running, passion budding. And then this last line was weird and is completely different and is not my handwriting. So I don't know if you can see it, but right down there. Wait and see, and then it has an E. Wait and see, and then down below it says like E. So yeah, I was working on my own poetry book, by the way. But that's cool that this was in there, because that meant a lot to me. As I show you like the really interesting poems that I wrote. Alright, so I have 2 more things in here. This is photos. That's what it looks like. I've Got photos of my ex-boyfriend in here. Got photos of me during that time, probably like 2009. Here's another picture of me. I look tired. I am wearing the NEDA, the NEDA necklace, so I was in recovery at this time. I don't look very happy. I look tired. I was dealing with depression, so that's a fake. Oh, I'm making a silly face. That's okay, Susie. There's a kissy face. Close-up of my ex. Another close-up of my ex. We've got this picture, which I actually have sitting right here. Close-up of, well, not a close-up, but my ex. Me and my ex in my room with stuff all over the place. I look like I had just moved in. Creepy doll head. I once drank vodka out of it, I believe. I remember flipping it upside down and putting alcohol in it. Oh, I miss having this. This was a cool sculpture that I had. It stood about this tall. Close-up of my ex. We've got me holding my camera. I think I just got out my regular film camera and was messing with it. And this was the first time I was shooting in color film. I was just playing. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I don't even think I knew if the film would work. So that's what this is. And it's back to the beginning. I mean, I already know these photos. I feel like I have other copies of them. I don't know. This is the last thing. See? All empty. I do love this guy. I just have like a bunch of toys in there. It makes me look like I'm a child. I wonder if I put this together because I wanted to make something that reminded me of play. I wanted it to be positive. I do remember that. So having just these little bits and pieces to remember that time, I don't know, it's kind of fun. Okay, so blog post that I printed out that day. Okay. No, alright, this was 2010. So I just gone through 2009. That's usually how years work. 2010 comes after 2009. This was made January 7th, 2010 at 9 a.m. It is called Yesterday Sucked, Today Hopefully Will Be Better. And my mood at the time was tired. Alright. Yesterday when Brian got back, all I could do was lay on the bed and be quiet. But I wasn't quiet. My mind was going 24/7 and it wouldn't shut up about my ED, eating disorder. It would say recovery or starve. And I constantly had to pick a side, but it still wouldn't shut up. Eventually Brian got me to talk and he helped me out. I'm just tired of this ED and he's right. I need to just pick a side and no matter what, do everything I can to achieve it. So I picked recovery because I'm so freaking tired of being miserable. I'll be miserable for a little bit, but in the end I'll be happy and smiley and passionate again. So, yesterday, instead of only having 70 calories, I ate a sandwich and some leftover icing. Still not much, but it's better than 70 calories. I have decided to try eating 4 meals a day, but I realize that's not possible for me yet. 4 foods maybe, I could do that. It feels like I'm so close to losing my balance and falling off the cliff into a relapse. I in no way want to relapse. I'm going to eat healthily and exercise with my Wii Fit to take care of my pockets. It was so lame. I reminded myself of when I was in Western Slake and I was bawling while trying to eat some food. I almost started crying when I had to eat that sandwich. It was pitiful. I don't think I can achieve the eat breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner thing at all yet. Maybe I'll have dinner and that's all. I don't know. I'm horrible at recovery anyway. Ack. Toodles, y'all. You know, I read this and I wonder if my negative thinking has changed much. Throughout the years, it's been up and down. I've definitely been more aware of when I'm having thoughts that are working against me rather than supporting me. But I deal with depression on a daily basis now. And admittedly, I am not eating very well. While I don't blame things on my eating disorder because I understand that at the time I separated my eating disorder from me so that I could safely have something to conquer. You know, like it gives you the illusion of strength to overcome something that you've already created in your mind. It is a part of me, like this eating disorder. That part of me is a coping method to stress. So when I'm stressed, I don't eat. And I am stressed. I am diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, and it just is. So the way that my OCD comes out is, well, I mean, at this time it was obsession with food, but when I got better with that and I no longer focus on counting calories, now it's more about the feeling that I feel. So if I try to eat something and it stresses me out and it stresses my body out, I don't want to eat because I'm not sure what happened. I don't know what food I'm allergic to or sensitive to or why it's making me feel different ways, and it's difficult. I'm trying to think what my obsessive thoughts are now. Now it shows itself through severe fear of being sick and getting sicker and losing control of my body because it feels like I've lost a lot of control over my body. I'm in pain constantly. I wish I couldn't, my goals for the new year are to be pain-free, to be debt-free, and to be judgment-free. So if I'm doing that, the first thing with the pain-free part is to be basically judgment-free. So whenever I find myself being critical of myself and my actions or where I am in life right now, that is creating more pain in my life. That's where I'm starting, guys. And I read this and I see that I was just in a lot of mental pain and I was on this loop and I hadn't broken that loop. And yet when I did break that loop, I found a new loop to get involved in. And it's about finding a loop that supports you. Or maybe it's not about finding a loop at all. Maybe it's actually about sitting still with your thoughts and working through them. So I read this and now I'm feeling insecure like I was feeling back then. I had hoped that I would leave a note for myself, like maybe speaking directly to me 10 years later, but I didn't do that. And that's okay, that's cool. It's interesting to have all these toys back. And I am looking forward to sitting down and creating a new time capsule. I think for this one, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna do. Don't you even ask. How rude of you. God. You'll have to wait another 10 years. I think out of all of this, I am most excited about finding Hedwig and this flip book, which is so cool. I'm gonna get going. Thank you for joining me. This was 10 years in the making, guys, so this is pretty cool. I don't know if maybe this will inspire you to make something for yourself. There's something neat about what younger Sues wanted to say to older Sues. And I took it to mean, like, you love these things, you have a great sense of humor, and you were doing. Just keep swimming. I keep having this song in my head. I don't believe in making plans. I carry my life in a plastic bag, and I've got no one that I'm thinking of. Perfect! On that note, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned into yourself. Bye, guys. See you later. I overreacted. Bye.